Alright. Hello!
Hello!
We have our HD capture card, and this is going to be the first game that we play with it. Kelly's actually going to be playing this game. She's going to... No, you're going on normal. You're going on normal. No, you're not doing it on hard.
Aww.
But yeah, she's going to play through this game, and this is her first time playing through the game.
It's my first time playing a Metal Gear Solid game.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
There was no North and no South. That's actually one of the most famous opening dialogue. God, it looks so crystal clear.
Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
It's pretty good, doesn't it?
Still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask.
See listening to music?
That's an earpiece.
Oh.
Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Ah!
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
It's like, fuck.
Fucking God.
Oh,
Cinematic
God.
cigar drop.
Oh. Oh. Controller was vibrating.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
How would you like to do this?
No.
Jump out of the back of the plane.
Sunrise.
Ready for this?
Oh my. Is this the game or is this the
External temperature minus
This is the
46
game.
degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
In this history,
10
he's
seconds
the
to
first
drop
one to do
off.
this
Stand by.
ever.
Jump out the back?
Status okay. All
That's what he's
green.
about to do.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Oh my. Ah! Ah! No! Oh my god!
Flips! So many flips!
Oh my god! That is so scary. That's awesome though. But I would wet myself if that happened to me. I just had to
Jack,
jump out
I've
of a
got some
plane.
important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the Virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, A certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue,
I like how
but
it
there
uses
was no
real
God.
cinematics for the cutscenes
Well
here.
spoken.
Yeah.
The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After
Like the
Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why'd he want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th,
remember that?
1962, President
No,
Kennedy
I wasn't
received
alive.
word that the
Well,
Soviets were in the process
remember
of deploying
learning about it.
intermediate-range
Yeah.
ballistic missiles in Cuba.
Vaguely.
The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets
It was the
didn't
world's
back down,
most dangerous
instead
game of
placing
chicken.
their armed forces on secondary alert.
Yeah, yeah.
Soviet transport
Almost
ships carrying
caused World
missiles
War III.
continued on
We were like
course
this
towards
close.
Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on
took him to
October
edit this all
28,
together.
the Soviet Union
I wonder where
agreed
they
to
pulled
remove
it
its
from.
missiles from
This is
Cuba.
historical footage.
So the world avoided a nuclear holocaust.
Oh. Oh.
News
But
clips,
in order to get the Soviets to pull their
things like
missiles
that,
out, we had to make a
propaganda
deal.
films.
You mean the one where the U.S.
Both
agreed
US
to remove
and
its
Russia.
IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end,
It's
we
not
had
hard
no
to see
choice.
which one they
President
went
Kennedy
with.
gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight.
Is this all meant to be
Then a
likely
month ago,
based on something
we
that actually
received
happened?
some new information.
This is an
from one of our
alternate
moles.
timeline.
Oh, okay.
About Sokolov?
It could be
Yes.
based off of
He was
things.
taken back to the research
But-
facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB
We'd probably never learn
supervision.
about it.
What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the
They still
facility?
say pull out of Cuba.
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selino Yask, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
So, in a nutshell, it's your job to get him back.
Is that the whole game or just this mission?
You'll see. Back to this.
Oh. I bet I gotta press buttons to land.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, cutscene. God, I'm gonna play.
Yeah. Get over yourself.
I feel like it's kind of a thing in games where cutscenes are like so long, the gameplay. Like,
Listen up, Jack. Your
Press
mission is to
R1.
infiltrate Selino Yask in the
First
Soviet
person view.
mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the West.
oh, I'm bringing it back to this.
If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking.
Oh.
Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point.
It's
The
designed
recovery
to, though.
balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast,
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Did he brief him on the whole damn thing as he was falling?
There was light briefing here, but essentially what they're saying is if you don't get him back in time, you're stuck there.
Is this like a timed mission, or
No.
or is that?
It's just a time frame of the game.
Oh, so it's not something I have control over.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Ow!
Well, there went your backpack.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh my god. Cool. Sneak that one over the edge.
Here we go.
He looks like the Terminator. God, stand up.
They like their cinematic shots, I'm telling you.
I know. I have to expect a commercial to come on. Flip his hair to the side. Show us shampoo. He looks good. Now this is solid, or is this original?
This is
Or Big Boss?
this is Big Boss.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
Well, you've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site.
I have so many
That goes
questions.
for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also
Bear
find some
Grylls
medical
style.
supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
Wow, you're fucked.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
Okay,
And now you're playing the game.
fucking finally, first of all. Second of all, why the fuck did they wait till I was in enemy territory and people could have been listening in to give me the lowdown and give us code names? Who said that was a smart idea? Really? And why couldn't he have been briefed before he was dropping?
It's fine.
This is stupid.
It's okay. Everything's okay.
Where is it? Where's that damn thing? I thought it dropped way back.
No, it's you're gonna have to crawl underneath this log. So hold down the X button and crawl underneath.
Oh, cool.
Yep, and climb up that tree.
Oh, is this so wrong?
Press X. Okay, now press triangle in front of the tree. He'll grab on. You gotta be facing it though.
No. I'm pressing triangle.
There you go.
There. Oh, he does it himself.
Alright, go out on the branch. And press triangle. Swing down. There you go.
Do I have it?
Yep,
Alright. What happened?
you picked it up.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose
So
the
it
weapon
gives
you
you a
want
little
to
bit of a
equip
tutorial.
and press the Enter button.
It's
For
pretty
other
simple.
equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission.
Well, no
After
shit.
you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your
Basically,
knife
you
to
gotta
hunt.
eat stuff to keep
My
your stamina
only
up,
weapon
but
is a
eating
Mark
doesn't heal
22
you.
Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun.
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get
You're
too
familiar with
trigger happy
silencers on
with it.
guns, aren't you?
Yeah.
The suppressor's durability is shown in the
There's
icon.
like a real one.
Any
It
weapons
has
and equipment
durability.
beyond
You
what
can
you're
only use
carrying
it so
now,
many times and then it
you'll
doesn't
have to
work.
find as you go.
I have to find my
Meaning
own
whenever you
weapons
shoot,
and
it'll make
equipment.
big noise.
Whose crazy idea was this
I didn't know
anyway?
that's a real thing with
Solo covert
Yeah.
actions are standard
Mhm.
Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there.
Essentially, if you get caught, they have to throw you under the bus, and no one can know that you're from America.
Every sense of the word.
They're gonna pretend you didn't
There'll be
exist.
no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You
I'm
mean
dead.
that thing they put in my tooth
No, it's a
before
fake
mission?
death.
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
Let me just give you a tip
guess
right
that
now.
means
Never
I
use
can't
the fake
count on
death
any
pill. Either just
reinforcements.
die or fight
Correct.
your way out.
The mission rests entirely
Wait,
in
that's
your
not
hands.
something you can do?
A
It
real
is.
one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the
already.
radio.
Hang on.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is
Like
of
I told
utmost
you,
importance.
this is a fairly
The
dialogue
first
heavy
member of the
game in
support team
beginning.
will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Just try to relax
Hello,
and you
Snake.
get to
I'm
meet the
paramedic.
characters.
Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
She's one of my favorite characters. One of the best voice actors, I
Talk
think,
to me.
in this game.
Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top-secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why.
Remember
But
those
you're
words.
looking for a reason to fight.
It's not supposed
You
to
are a
question
natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your codename is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a
I actually want them
legendary
to make a
hero
game
backing
about
you
that.
up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC? Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle
You don't need to
techniques.
remember those frequencies.
Gotcha.
It saves them for you.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Ideally, that's what happens. That's not gonna happen your first playthrough, or your second playthrough,
Snake,
or your 20th
try to
playthrough.
remember some of the basics of CQC.
Isn't that cool how he holds a knife and a gun at the same time?
Yes. Oh, is it?
Yup. See?
Commencing Virtuous mission now.
Damn, we've been recording for half an hour and all I've
Yep.
done is...
This is where we're gonna have to call it.
Really?
We're gonna record another episode right after this, but yeah, at the half-hour mark, this is where we're gonna have to call it. Sorry if not a lot happened in the first episode, but again, this is a very dialogue-heavy game. It's all about setups and characters,
so many
and
questions.
we'll answer questions. Questions will be answered whenever we come back, okay? I'm sorry that the first episode isn't exciting. I promise if you stick with it, there is a very, very promising payoff in the end. It's just, I mean, you gotta get past the first part. You gotta get past the characters and the dialogue. it's important to understand the context of what you're doing here, okay?
Alright.
Alright, so we're going to see you again soon. We're going to be recording right after this one, but you guys, it's going to be a couple days before you see this, okay?
Okay.
So, have a good day, guys. We will see you later.